under all the circumstances that we're facing. We want to hear all about what's going on with the teachers out in Los Angeles. Joining us now, the president of the American Federation of Teachers, Randy Weingarten. Randy, good morning to you. How are you?
Good morning, Mark.
This is
I was in LA for
exactly.
the last few days, so as you can imagine, I have um either a really groggy voice or a cold.
Are you in LA right now?
No, I came back on the red eye Tuesday night to Wednesday morning.
So,
Um,
what's the latest on the strike, Randy? How many days has it been going on now?
um, Today's day 4.
Right.
Um, Yesterday the strike. Not only were the strike lines strong, we have more and more parents joining the line. So about 15,000 parents joining the line.
Parents.
And
Okay.
oh yeah, no, this is it, what's happening in LA is it really is a battle for the for whether public education, the soul of public education. And parents get this and see this. There's been a lot of education done before the strike started, and in fact, um, the teachers had bargained or attempted to bargain for 20, 21 months, almost 2 years. Um, there was a poll that came out, a Loyola poll yesterday, that showed that 82% of the public in LA supports the strike, and that includes, we have lots of parents who are really, who for whom school is absolutely essential, but they know that what we're fighting for are the schools that their kids deserve. And when kids who are wealthy get things like, no question about a library on school property, but guidance counselors, nurses, have the services they need to thrive. We owe it to all of our kids to have that.
Hmm.
And on top of that, in LA, class sizes can be 40 or 50. And at the end of the day, you can't teach in a class where there's an average class size of 40. I was a teacher, as you know, Mark, in
Hmm.
Brooklyn.
Hmm.
My classes hovered around 30. That is hard enough when you have 150, 200 kids. My classes were at 34. When you have 150, 200 kids in a class and in a day, how do you give kids the individual attention they need? And so this is all part of why the educators went on strike. And there's a $2 billion reserve. Let me say that again. The school system's budget is about
Wow.
$7.5 billion. A $2 billion reserve.
So they have money.
So, yeah, and then at the same time, they have the same kind of. They have actually a worse kind of charters being set up as a competitive school system. So charter growth has gone up about 300%. Some charters are good, some are really bad. 8 of the 10 lowest performing schools in LA are charters. But charters take the first dollar. So every single year, $600 million go to charters. So what the teachers are saying, what UTLA is saying is, let's actually make the priority neighborhood public schools. We want to teach. We want the tools. And these things, of course, fair salary is important, and not having to work 3 or 4 jobs. But frankly, these common good issues, as we call it, these issues of conditions of teaching and learning are what is animating the strike.
Hmm. Hmm. So, just to be clear, Randy Weingarten with us, folks. Quick questions. 866-99 series. This is about class sizes. This is about the proliferation of charter schools. How, how much, if any, of this has to do with um, teacher teacher salaries?
This is what's so ironic. Um, the union has asked for about 6.5% over 2 years. The school system has about six. There's a difference where the school system wants it paid at the end. The teachers want it closer to the beginning. It's not. We're not. Salary is not. If salary was the only issue, my view, there
Mm-hmm.
never would have been a strike.
Right, I got you. Right,
This
right,
is
right.
about the conditions under which people teach. And what's happened is they are not given a fighting chance to actually meet the needs of children.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's why there's such great support for. I mean, LA is a union town. There's about 900 schools. Over 200 of them have been adopted by local unions who have adopted the line. So one of the schools I visited, for example, on Tuesday was Hollywood High School, which had been adopted by SAG-AFTRA. And in the pouring rain, teachers and the actors and musicians and us did a press conference. Just you see that Stevie Van Zandt, Diane Ravitch were on the line yesterday.
Yeah, yeah.
Richard Dreyfuss did a beautiful tribute to teachers a couple of days ago. What seems to be five presidential candidates have tweeted out their support, including Sherrod Brown and Bernie Sanders and Kamala Harris and Elizabeth Warren and Kirsten Gillibrand. This is a community strike, and yes, just like New York, there's issues in terms of long-term sustainability, issues for Sacramento, but this is last year the kind of the head of Netflix, this guy by the name of Eli Broad, they gave millions and millions of dollars to oust the sitting school board president, who was a teacher, Steve Zimmer, and put a guy by the name of Nick Mulvoy in about 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
2.5 years ago. And, you're seeing here what you saw in New York when Joe Klein was the head of,
Right, right.
it's just this, no, accountability, testing, just heap all these responsibilities on teachers until they can't do it. And they're basically saying, we want to be in school, but we need the conditions. Listen to us, hear us.
Yeah, yeah. So, who's the real culprit in this? In other words, is LA one of those cities where there's a mayor system when it comes to overseeing public education, or is it
Mm-hmm.
a school board? I mean, who's the
It's a
real
school
culprit?
board. It's so look, this is the ironies. It's an elected school board, independently elected. The corporate folks spent many millions of dollars last time to elect Mulvoy and oust Zimmer. And the Charter Association had a working majority on the board until one of the people it elected got indicted for various malfeasance in and around the work he did, and he has had to resign since. But the mayor has been, the mayor actually went to the lines yesterday to check it out. He wants to settle the strike, obviously, but he's actually played a constructive role, and evidently they are all meeting this afternoon at City Hall, or the bargaining is commencing again this afternoon at
Okay,
City Hall.
okay.
But it's not a mayoral control system.
I see.
But the mayor is playing a constructive role.
He is okay. That's good to know. 866 99 serious. Um, People are wearing red for Ed.
Yep.
Even got a tweet from Congresswoman Ilhan Omar
Yep,
uh,
exactly.
wearing red for Ed. And folks of you watching on our stream, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, we've also showed the pictures of Dolores Huerta, who I
Yep,
believe walked her grandchildren
yep.
to school. We saw the
Dolores has
video.
been amazing.
Yeah, we saw the picture of Diane Ravitch, the video of Diane Ravitch as well, So parents are involved, and are students participating also?
Yes, students
Okay.
are participating. Also, I mean, you asked earlier who the enemy is, and the new superintendent is an investment banker. And he's been there for about um, a year or so,
Hmm.
maybe longer. He's an investment banker, and he did in some ways what Klein did in New York, in that first demonized the teachers, said they were making too much, said there was too much said there was too much. The contract was too rich. It's just it's ridiculous when you on its face. He said during the when you see what teachers are fighting for, said that the first day that there were only 3,500 people out when it was almost 30,000, and you could see that from the big rally downtown where there were over 50,000 people.
Wow. Wow.
Same the second day. I mean, you wonder how his math skills are for the finances when that happens. So he is about scarcity and raises every single excuse as to why they can't do things. And the last working day before the strike, that Friday, instead of being at bargaining, he gave a bargaining proposal publicly. So it was intended to stir things up.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it's good that they're getting back to bargaining today, but he has not his his view of things comes from looking at selling assets, deconstructing things, getting rid of things, as opposed to the fact that the assets are our children,
Yeah.
and there needs to be an investment strategy. And so he and the work and his working majority, Melvoin, Garcia, they just have a really different view of of education.
Hmm.
Their view is not how you invest in schools to ensure that the neighborhood, the community thrives. And our view is LA, just like New York, just like so many of these, Chicago. We are, these are cities where you have lots of hidden issues, lots of ELL kids, kids with limited English proficiency, lots of kids who are poor, huge diversity, huge homeless population. You have to give teachers in communities the the wherewithal to teach.
Yeah.
And all of these little communities, they're all these little places in LA. They're real communities.
Hmm.
So wrap services around schools, make the school the
Hmm.
center. So
Hmm.
that's the big, really, truly the big fight of us asking for an investment in a community, and of them, the school board, basically saying, no, they're going to sell the assets off. And this is all about their maintaining these dual systems, and not trying to help the system that they're in charge of actually have the resources it needs. So the teachers have stepped in. That's why kids are really supporting the teachers. So in a couple of the rallies, I love kids were first they were threatened that if they didn't go to school, that it would be taken, that they would be um, uh, they
Discipline.
would be discredited or they would lose credit.
Okay.
And so now, now that has been cleared up. That that no, there will be no ramifications to kids who don't go to school.
Teachers will. I mean, students will not be punished for not going.
Future students will not be punished for not
Okay.
going to school.
Okay. Good. Because who was going? What are they going to school for anyway? Who's going to? There's nothing to do. I mean, what were they supposed to do with school if there are no teachers there?
There's no teachers. I mean, they tried to open up. Look, they tried to open up the schools, and we know, the teachers know, that we have lots of parents who are, who are are poor. And so we actually have a, so to answer your question, no one. I mean, it's basically babysitting. They try to hire substitutes. They have very few people in the schools, and very few kids, are showing up to the schools. But we have not, because we know that parents are, that we respect our parents. We know that in some places, sometimes there's, you know, parents need to have their kids there
Yeah.
in schools,
Yeah. Yeah.
because they have no other place.
Right. They got to go to
So
work.
no one has said yes. So no one is saying, no one is blocking the the
Right.
the
Right.
the doors of schools.
Right.
Kids are coming in, kids are going out. But that's why I'm saying we have a 30. There's a 99% success rate in terms of the teachers staying out. Not that they want to be on strike, but the lines are really strong. 75% of the teachers were on the picket lines yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
95, 98, 99% are on strike. But
Mm-hmm.
the other thing, Mark, is we have a fund. It's a very non-traditional strike fund,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes for all this community work. It goes to feed kids. It goes to help the parent groups that are supporting us, and so that strike fund we have as well. So if people want to donate to it, they can donate to that strike fund. It's not for the teachers. It's for this support, and it is on what we call the AROS website, AROS website, and it's the strike fund for communities.
We're going to do this quickly before we go. Let's get a quick call in. Rick's in Virginia. Rick, God bless you. Good morning. Get woke. Get ready for impeachment. You're on the air with Randy Weingarten of the American Federation of Teachers. Quick for me, please, Rick.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, Mark, my question is, as a teacher in Virginia, what can we as teachers in Virginia do to help the teachers in LA other than wearing red?
That's a great question. So there's three things that you can do. One is, as I said, there is this strike fund that we have that's under on the AROS website. AROS, the Alliance to Reclaim Our Schools, or ROS LA, ROS LA, are running it. Not we're not running it; they're running it, and it really is to support the community groups who are doing things to support kids um, during the strike. So that's one thing that one can do. The second thing is get on social media. Social media
Okay.
is social media is the way in which we are communicating with teachers and parents in LA. Communicate your support. If you're in a school right now, do a video from your school to the teachers in LA. Walk. I know in Virginia, there's going to be a big rally about investment and scarcity at the end of January as well. But this is teachers from all across the country supporting each other on these fights
Mm-hmm.
for fairness
Mm-hmm.
and for the investment that schools need.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Rick, thank you, man. Thanks. This is a
Thank
great
you.
question. Thank you for that spirit of
And the
solidarity.
hashtags, by the way, are UTLA Strong, UTLA Strike Now, We Are LA.
We are LA. UTLA strong. UTLA strike now.
Strike,
I'm
and We
I'm
Are LA.
I'm also seeing LAUSD strike. So
LAUSD Strike, you
yeah,
can see too.
folks, follow at AFT Union if you would. Also at UTLA Now is another
Correct.
Twitter handle to follow.
Right.
Randy,
And I've been tweeting.
yes,
I tweet about
R
10 or
Weingarten,
15 things our day. Yeah, our Weingarten.
R Weingarten also on Twitter. We're gonna stay on top of this. So they're gonna talk again today, right?
Yep.
Okay. So we'll see what happens if anything comes from it. We pray it does. There were some of these signs I'm seeing I miss my students, but I love them way too much not to fight for their future. Teachers just want to have funds. Here's another one. Dear students, please don't get sick on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. The nurse is only here on Mondays. Love your teacher.
Right.
P.S. I'm
Right.
sorry. This is what we're up against.
Yep.
UTLA Now on Twitter, R. Weingarten on Twitter, AFT Union on Twitter. Randy, we love you. Thank you. Keep us
We love you
posted on
too,
this,
Mark.
okay?
Thank you. Thanks.
I appreciate all you all are doing. Folks, we'll be back. Sirius XM Progress. Regina Hall joins us now. Sirius XM Progress 127, Resistance Radio. Get woke. Get ready for impeachment. This is MIP.